Hello, Pirates of Skull and Bones. This is Night Fury, showcasing a build um, for Year 3, Season 2 of Skull and Bones. I'm excited to show you guys this build. Essentially, it's a DPS build. You're going to see big numbers. I did a lot of work last night, collaborating with a bunch of my friends in the night crew. And I'm excited to show you guys this, okay? So without further ado, here it is. So, what is our weapon? We have the Storm Tongue. This is the weapon of choice that we're using. I'm going to show you guys the perks, ascensions that we have. So we currently have on this one, we have Adapt Rupturing, Soul Mending, Deadly Strike, and Phantom Round. So you're wondering what Adept Rupturing? That's new. It is new. Phantom Round, that's also quite new. We actually get this from the event that is located over here called Heralds of the Abyss. Right there. It's only exclusively for tier 4. That's literally, I guess, the end game type of farm that we will be doing. Because that event drops weapons that have these ascensions to your to their weapon that it drops. So when you see these ascensions, our job is essentially what I did was I stripped it off from that weapon. I think it was like a green cannon, I think, and a purple one, I don't remember, that had that perk, and I essentially just removed it and placed it to this weapon, the Storm Tongue. And this is what I got out of it, and that's how I did it. So Storm Tongue basically comes as electric combustion. We now have Rupturing, Soul Mending. Soul Mending is there to ensure that we survive. I'll explain more later. Deadly Strike, this is our bread and butter. This is the reason why everything is just red. And Phantom Round, this pretty much just kind of just rounds everything up. Essentially, I think the highest percentage for this is 25. I didn't get a chance to god roll it because I ran out of like materials to make it, and because of that, it's only because it's the second day. I'm pretty sure probably by the end of the season I'll probably have plenty to kind of just like god roll it and just mess around with it. But we were only there for about 3 hours last night, so I didn't have much. But great thing is I have this exact build on both of the Storm Tongues, so we are gonna be okay. The front part of the weapon of our ship, by the way, is the Atmos tool. We are using Atmos because honestly, you can use whatever weapon you want, but I use Atmos just because for healing purposes. So if I'm ever in a pickle, mobs in front of me, shoot them, insta heal. That's it. It's all about survivability. For the back, we are using the Blight Bear. You're wondering what? Well, reason being is I needed a weapon that has cannonballs, so it can have some synergism with our Hallmarkers table there. But I'm more looking towards its innate abilities, like the Toxic, Piercing, and Incendiary. The Restore Readiness, Siege, and Mega Chorus Bomb, I really don't care what they are as long as you god roll them. Pick one, don't care. I'll explain more later when we reach the mastery tree on why I did what I did. So this is our weapons. I'm gonna go over our Ox. We have the Brecker over here. I've used this Brecker since last season, and you're probably wondering why do I have god rolls on all of them. Exactly what I did. I have a bunch of weapons that had some god rolls on them. I pretty much just moved them here, and voila. This is the beauty of this season. It allows you to pretty much do whatever you want with any weapon as long as you have the rolls, the ascensions that you have, and the essences that is required to put it on there on a weapon. Next is the Nocturne Heart. The same exact thing I did. I haven't seen Nocturne Heart my entire career in Skull and Bones that has like quadruple god roll. So I got this out of a think it was a low flow or something like that. I pretty much like ascended all 4 of them and popped it in here, and that's what we have. So I have stalwart, and severe damage removal. Pretty much the purpose of this build is to get as much HP as you possibly can. Why? Because the more HP you have, the more survivability you get. Also, most importantly of all is the euphoria. Obviously, the more HP that we have, the higher threshold that we have to, you know, actually use this perk here, because you know the chances of you or the threshold to which you can actually have more chances of keeping this buff is a lot higher. So we have that, and obviously the severe damage removal. This is just a go-to so that you'll never ever have to, because for instance, if you have severe damage at 50%, then this no longer works for you. So you're gonna need this. So all you have to do is pretty much like just brace every 7 seconds, and you pretty much heal your severe. And then when you're back up to full, you can take advantage of this 15% that this Nocturne Heart has. So this is pretty much the weapon and armor that we have. We're gonna cover the furniture. So we have Hallmarker Stable. Pretty much every single weapon that we have that is gonna be buffed has or is using a cannonball. So, and I guess also this is the best major weapon in the game. Unless somebody has a better suggestion for me, I'll take it. But for this build, this is the best I could find. Next is the Caustic Spall. Yes, this thing got nerfed to 15%, but the only nerf that what happened was actually the just the flooding damage. Everything else looks pretty much like it's the same, no changes. It does increase the damage of that you do, your overall damage by 10%. If you're over 200 meters, which you will be, you're using a culverin, you're gonna get increased again by 13% on the fly. So no changes on that. Next is our Laden. This one over here, I love this because it does exactly the same thing as the Caustic Spall, because of the last perk that we have here, right here. It does increase our overall damage by 8%. That's actually better than the 19% that the other one does. Reason being is 8% of your entire numbers over here added all together is far more higher compared to the 19% of just your elemental, because it doesn't take into account the 5,000 base that you currently have here. So by equipping this, you're gonna have an increase in damage no matter what. The only caveat is you don't see it here because you can only see the difference if the enemy is stormstruck. In this case, for the Caustic Spall, they have to be flooded. That's why it doesn't reflect to the sheet that we have here. It's like a little hidden thing that Ubisoft forgot to tell us. Next is the Culverin works, pretty much fundamental. If you want to increase your damage, go ahead, put it on there. Same thing with Expanding Corkscrew Station. The same thing, just amplifies the damage a little bit more. Next is the Ramrod. The vast majority of our shots are going to be coming from the broadside, so why not, right? And also, I'm also looking for the reload time decrease is pretty much like monumental here. Obviously, the faster you shoot, the faster they die. The faster you shoot, the faster you can heal yourself. So you win, right? So very, very good when it comes to survivability. It allows you to stay in battle a lot longer, and if you get focused, you have weapons around you that can heal, that can sustain, so you'll live a lot longer. And this is what we currently have. Okay. Next is our mastery. So let's go over this real quick. So for this one here, let's go over it. We're gonna start from the top here, and then I'll go back to the middle. So essentially, this is pretty much a prerequisite, and our goal here is to dish out as much damage as possible. How do we do that? Reload speed. So fill up the top here, all the way here, fill up this left side here. We skipped this one here for projectile speed because if you look on my seasonal buffs, I only needed to meet the 15% requirement that the Caustic Spall requires, and I have 10 over here for Culverin, projectile speed, and I have, I think, 5. Where's the 5 at? Oh, 5. Where are you? Am I missing 5? Oh, there it is. Projectile speed 5. Forgive me. That took a while. So anyway, that's essentially what uh what the purpose of it all is. Once you meet the 15, then you max out the necessary max out requirement for take advantage of the caustic spalls flooding damage, and you're good to go. Sorry, I had like a tickle in my throat there. Next is we're just gonna fill up everything over here on the top. Anything culverin related, we're gonna fill it up. We're gonna skip this because again, we already maxed out our projectile speed, so there is really no point in putting more points when we can put it somewhere else. So anything on the left over here is pretty much just reload speed reduction. Anything on the right here is increasing the weak point damage by, and also weapon damage as well. We're gonna go on the bottom left over here. The impetus pretty much for this one over here, again, it's a requirement. Go all the way down over here and onto the top. Pretty much this covers all your elemental damage. It buffs both of them. Then we're gonna go over here, and this is, I want to explain this to you. Volatile Arsenal, very, very important. I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier regarding the piercing weapon that I have in the back, right? So it says elemental damage by 5% for each weapon element equipped in this ship. That's 5%, right? So the weapon I have back there has piercing and poison. And I also added an incendiary, which is fire, right? So we are currently carrying a storm tongue that has flooding, combustion, and electric. So that's 5, 5, 5, that's 15. And it says here for each element that we have over here. So because my weapon in the back has the piercing, the poison, and the fire, that completes this 5. So 5 now has 6 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 5, that's 30. So you got an instant 30% damage right there. That's why I needed that thing in the back. Okay? Then we go all the way down over here, fill out your damages, then fill out your penetration. The same goes with your combustion, same goes with your electric. And then we're going to go back over here, which pretty much just bumps our impetus up to an additional 5. This is actually quite vital. The more you have as far as impetus goes, the better it is for you to be able to consistently do the damage that we are going to be seeing in a little bit. Now we're going to go back to the middle, and this is very important. So the bottom one over here, we're going to gain a stack of impetus within 5 stacks. It does all this fun stuff over here. Then we go back on the top, we have generate. Every time you hit the enemy, guess what? We have reload speed. So the faster we shoot, the faster you can generate impetus. Hoorah! Right? That's very vital to our build. I'm going to explain a little bit. Next, we have generating impetus. Again, it adds 20% chance to convert any weapon shot into a weak point damage for 5%. That's 20% chance. So we are going to be freaking critting like crazy. Last but not the least, the mama jama of them all, we have this firepower order. Basically, when you get 10 stacks of impetus, you fire your mortar. Within the next 8 seconds, every single shot that you have will be a critical hit. It's gonna be red all over. So, going back to our loadouts, the synergism of this all is gonna be nuts. We have reload speed that increases our impetus generation by a crap ton. Then, not only that, we're gonna be critting nonstop. And looking at the Storm Tongue, it has Deadly Strike. It already will increase the damage by 49% on top of everything. This is gonna be the mama jama right here. So, anyway, going back, that is essentially what our mastery is. So, see it. We're gonna go and beat up Li Tianning. Hopefully there's nobody here to bug us, and if there is, we're gonna show them anyway. Alright, so let's summon her. Oops, sorry, wrong button. Alright, so she's over there. On the way over here. Taking forever a little bit, I'm gonna come towards her. And we're gonna send one mortar shot. And for the next 8 seconds, all we're gonna see is a bunch of reds. And because now that we have 2 of them, guess what? You get to keep spamming the reds. So see my HP, it almost dropped down there, and then now that it's over, I'm gonna do it again. And I'm gonna be hitting for 2 million non-stop. And then around 6 seconds, pop another one and continue. And here we go. Goodbye. This is how I was beating up like Cubot twins. You know what? Let's do Cubot twins. I'll showcase you how fast we can kill Cubot. Hopefully there's nobody here. Okay, nobody here. Why not? Let's go. They're behind me. Alright, let's go pop this. Okay. Armand is charging. Let's blow him up. 6 seconds up. Let's try this guy. There's our numbers.
What's up, Vagabond? Speak that now! C'est la mort! Il est sur notre place pour us! C'est ma fille! You dare to shoot at us? Just a scratch! The shield falls! Oh, oui! A worthy foe and a worthy fall!
And this is the build, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe. We got more stuff cooking in the kitchen. Shout out to my boys in Night Crew. We got GTI over there. We got Bicoastal, Noob Troop, Fear, all those guys. Pretty much every night we collaborate, talk, cook something up in the lab, create some crazy collaborations, and you know, just have fun, enjoy. We're gonna be doing a lot of this stuff. Enjoy, guys. Have a good night. Bye.